Finally, we found the last person we need after all. I'm Helig Cross. I'm leading an expedition to the land south of Dalantarth, the teeth of Naros, and we could use another strong back. Few facts. The only record of a successful journey there was by an Almain missionary named Denric, returned half dead and maddened to hell. He claimed the southern land as home to a miraculous city, wrought of gold and trimmed with silver. Even said it floated above the earth, if you can believe it. It's hard country, damn impossible to find a pass in the mountains, but if I'm right, this cavern will take us under them. Because Denric wrote of more than wealth. Tales of giant men, tall as houses, that slaughter any who approach. It took weeks even to convince Cash and Sverri to join me. With a fourth, we can take a bigger haul without sharing too much of it. Denric was crazed, but I don't hold him a liar. I can overlook some bogeyman's tales if there's riches to be had. Can you? Then we only need to begin. I've seen to all the logistics, and all the preparations for the journey. Meet us in the southern passage. Let's try to cover as much ground as we can. It's the cave next to camp. I heard rumors that it was filled with artifacts that none had ever seen before. Strange carvings and huge works of stone. I don't know how dangerous it is, but I advise against being too carefree inside. We should go in as a group. Sverri's got a fairly good head on her shoulders. She's only got eyes for gold, but there's plenty for all on this trip. When it comes to navigating ruins, there's no one I trust more. A mage is always good to have on an expedition like this, except for Cash, but maybe he'll come around. During one of my other campaigns, I chanced upon a diary of an Almain monk, Denric the Crazed. Said he found a way to the land south of Dalantarth. After reading what he found there, cities of gold, fountains of sapphires, I decided I wanted to see this land for myself. Been a mercenary for about 20 years now. Toured with the Warsworn, but didn't take quite as much pride in the work as they wanted. So I struck out on my own. You can make a fair bit of coin selling your sword to keep a farm or two safe. Not that I'll need to anymore. Stay close.
Keep walking.
What is it?
The time of deliverance is almost nigh. The teeth of Naros have gone untamed since the rocks were young, since the wind was but a child. And now, my chosen people stand on the precipice of taming this land, or succumbing to it. I thought once that none could change the stars of this world. But at last, one has come who can. Come, thou fateless one, I beckon thee.
What the hell is that thing?
Yes?
What is that thing?
This... what is it? It looks like it's made of stone. But this stain... this is blood. This thing is flesh! I'm not going to stick around and find out what killed this thing. This whole damn place is cursed.
Damn Craven. Don't know what Cash was getting so worked up for. Just a statue somebody toppled over, and got all bloody. Let the mage run to his mother. We don't need him. We're in the foothills of the Teeth right now. It's not the easiest place to reach. Sheer cliffs of stone, and few passes through them. We don't even know if it was a corpse. Could have been a statue that an Etin decorated with some entrails, or something. I can't believe that Craven mage. Wait a moment. I don't like the look of this hallway up ahead. This is Sferry's area of expertise. Let her take the lead here. What was that? First the mage turns coward, then Sferry dies doing the one thing she's supposed to be suited for. Is this some sort of joke? What's next? Are you going to reveal you're really just a kobold with a bad case of mange? Clearly, I should be more thorough when recruiting my expeditions. Fine, let's just keep moving. We'll manage on our own from here. We keep going. Cash proved to be useless, and Sverry's not helping anyone anymore. Looks like it was always up to us. With just two of us, we'll have to try and manage as best we can. It won't be easy, but I thought something like this could happen. Come, we must make Sverry's death mean something. What in the hell were those things? I've never seen anything like them. I heard of the dangers of the southern land, but are the gods themselves conspiring against us? Here I go! Hold on a moment. One of those damn beasts hit me worse than I thought. I think I need to rest for a while. Here, I'm going to wait here. Scout the passage ahead, and see if you can find a place to make camp. Will you stop fussing over me? It's not doing either of us any good for you to stay here. We need to find some place to make camp. I'll take it, but I'll wait until I really need to use it. Be a shame to waste the thing, wouldn't it? Now get going. I need to rest. Discover what you can, and come back to me. Go. You need to find safety.
And so, after centuries, it has come to pass. The cipher has reached thy hands, Beckett. At last, my work can be completed. One who watched and waited for decades and centuries and eons, and all for this day, when thou wouldst come before me. I have read the fates of this world to find thee, unfated one. Many and long have been thy trials thus far, but there is yet another challenge thou must face, mine. Since the inception of my labors, I have always known that their fulfillment would require fate to be unbound. Such is the paradox of faith. The tapestry of fate offers no allowance for such events. Only an unfated being could complete the work I had started. So I waited, in despair and hope. And then thou came to pass. I needed thy nature, and it was created, though I had no hand in it. I see that as fate, in a way. To continue thy path through the tapestry of fate, and perpetuate its sundering, I will open the way to the teeth of Naros. Seek the Primos, and thy duty will be made clear in time. Go now with my blessing. Go now with my purpose. For thou art beckoned. That which was ordained must be undone.
What is... First we have an army of Jotun at our gates, and now this. I don't know you, little one, but you'll find no quarter here. This is still Colossi-held territory for the moment. State your intent. You barge into these lands, and yet you do not know who holds them? I am. My people are Colossi. For years we have held these lands as the hallowed grounds of our gods. We are stone and flesh, sword and faith. Everything does harm in these lands. I do not know you, so why should I take you at your word? Furthermore, none have come from those caverns since they were sealed, save you. How is it you came here? It is a road that has gone otherwise unwalked since it was sealed. How did you walk this path? Strange entity. A curious riddle, but one that must be solved later. It seems the Jotun have rallied their strength. Steel yourself. That was well fought, little friend. You have a strength in your arms that belies their lack of girth. Perhaps you are not the interloper I believed you to be. You claim to have been summoned, but for what purpose? What strange forces brought you here? You speak of the Holy King of my people, and that artifact you bear. Could it be the cipher? Your mission is twice damned already. The Primos is a recluse. But more immediate than that is the Jotun horde. Idilla is sealed off as long as they continue plaguing my people. Yes, hiding away in his high tower and pining for gods that will never listen to him. The Primos is the highest office among the Colossi, reserved for the one that leads my people in politics and prayer. At least that is how things should be. But Anakatos, the latest to have this authority, has not lived up to his duties. Our people are stranded in a wild land, in a time of our greatest doubt, and he locks himself away from us. Our ruler leaves us leaderless. It is the city you see floating in the sky over this land of savages and dangers. It is my people's greatest accomplishment and failure. I cannot speak more of it to an outsider. Forgive me. A relic of great importance to those of my people that carry the faith. I thought it was just a myth, but one who carries the cipher is much loved by the gods. So the sages of my race say. A blessing as much as a curse. The Jotun are led by Karunk, a warlord that reigns over his horde from his ramshackle tower. One of my scouts, Remy's, watches them now. He can offer you advice on fighting the warlord, and if you can kill Karunk, I will lead you to the Primos myself. Bring word to the city. They will need to know about the Jotun and this new interloper. It seems Karunk's.
Ah, what a horrid little thing you are. Are you some kind of Jotun runt? Explain yourself quickly. The last thing I want is to give away my position. That much I was aware of, and I knew Sikandra would send someone. But you? A sign of the times, to be sure, but if you're to do the deed, then I have information that you will need. Karunk is truly powerful, but no more so than his brethren. It is not his strength that's troubling. It's his fortitude. 2 kobolds he keeps with him work some strange magics that heal his wounds and help him resist injury. Kill them, and the fight is yours. Using primal magic would certainly help as well. Strange thing, aren't you? Primal magic is a magic imbued upon weapons and gems. Only armament can channel it. The magic does some damage on its own, but its true strength is its ability to augment other magics you cast on your foe to a devastating degree. Take this weapon, use it to inflict primal magic on a foe, and let loose your spells. Even a Jotun warlord could not withstand such an onslaught. Very well, little one. Who... Oh, my apologies. It is an older form of magic. One that does little damage on its own, but can wreak havoc when combined with elemental spells. Using weapons infused with primal magic, you can increase your foe's magical sensitivity. Even a troll's hide will have its resistances sapped. Imagine loosing your most damaging spells with no resistances. Few would survive such an onslaught. Be careful.
had heard. From Remy's, I received word that one such as you entered Karunk's tower with no trepidation, no anxiety. Do I even have to ask? Does the war chief still draw breath? It was said the gods would call their champion, and here you are, bearing the cipher, seeking the Primos. For your role in deposing the warlord, I give you this. A hammer prized among the Jotun, so I'm told. Use it as your trophy. Now my forces can put the rest of the Jotun to the spear beckoned. Before this day, I thought it was just a myth, a lie my people told ourselves to make our sins more bearable. The beckoned is a deliverer. The beckoned speaks for the gods. The beckoned is their messenger, their conduit. What is the beckoned? One who carries the cipher, the icon of the gods. One who faces the troubles of my people without hesitancy. The beckoned is you. With their leader dead, they will likely keep to themselves and lose the will to harry my people as they have. I will wager that they won't suffer incursions into their camp, for good or ill. But still they have caused my people suffering. Shall we wait and allow them to inevitably rise again? This is our best opportunity to finish them. We do not need to attend to this task ourselves. My soldiers will see to the work. I will now take you to the henge, the device that transports the colossi between the city and the surface. Let us depart. Very well.
Beckon.
In the youth of Amalur lived the Uranos, existing from the hill lands alone. They held not the blessings of the gods, and so were blinded to their own potential.
We lived in ignorance among the savage people. We wasted the gifts of the gods ourselves.
Here, beckoned. This artifact you see before us is a henge. We use it to transport to the city. It may be uncomfortable at first. I still recall retching after my first journey with it. But it is the only way into the city. An artifact my people made. With the city in the sky, we knew we needed a way to travel from the teeth and back. The energies it focuses are the same as those that keep the city aloft. They can levitate people and objects safely. Farewell. What can I do? And here you have it. Idylla, our great failing. Now let us go to Anakatos. He may hide from our people's needs, but he will not refuse a visitor sent from Athene. The goddess of wisdom was our patron. Though my people worship all the Titans, they hold Athene as our personal guardian. But the gods do not look to us or listen to us. What manner of patron neglects their charge, leaves their wards to the wilderness? The gods choose the Primos to lead we Colossi, and to enact their will. Of the gods, we are the favored of Athene, the goddess of wisdom. Or we were. Athene's once common words have been quiet for some time. The Primos has prayed in isolation for years, but she does not answer. Very well. Mind your step here, Beckoned. I wouldn't want the Colossi's failure to claim any more lives than it already has. It is not here by choice. Or our choice, anyways. Such questions would be better suited for the Primos. Suffice it to say that this was made in anticipation of something that never occurred. Very well. The Primos is this way.
You must be the Beckoned.
Beyond these stairs is the sanctuary of the Primos, the leader of the Colossi people in the teeth of Naros. I must warn you, Anakatos has not left these quarters in years. He vowed to never cease his prayers until the gods answered them, and his people have languished for it. But I think his answer has finally arrived. Speak to him, Beckoned. His people have need of him. After years in his sanctum, I doubt he is the Primos I once knew. But though we all languish in the god's absence, none suffer as he does. He will likely see you as the answer to his prayers. Very well.
Is there anything I can assist?
And though the path be fraught with tribulation, know that it leads to the land of our greatness, and that we walk it with you. Such were the words the gods spoke to the progenitor of my race when they sought to guide us from our base origins into a fruition of potential. The words have been in my heart every day of my reign, but now they are embodied. Welcome, Beckoned. At last, this city will be complete. Because we are all of us, my whole people, incomplete. Because we are not worthy enough, not deserving enough to see such wonders of the gods. And I thought that failure was a finality. I have prayed to the gods in seclusion in hopes of an answer. But they were as quiet as the silent choir. Now the Beckoned is come. With you, the gods can bear witness to us atoning for our inadequacies. We must start at once, beginning with the wreath of absolution. Something no Primos would ever wish to wear. They are only made in times of great need, and we must prove to the gods our devotion. Were it so easy. There is a proper ritual to observe, and it involves the holy Beckoned crafting the wreath of absolution. First, the foundation. It is a circlet of gold inscribed with the runes of prayer. I only wish we had the time to craft one for this occasion, but we do not. Thankfully, there is one made. My predecessor, Arcas, had a wreath crafted, and it lies interred with him beneath the city. Secandra will guide you to it. Salvation awaits.
You return. Well, the Primos has not graced the ears of his subjects in ages. What has he said to you? The circlet of Arcas. And Anakatos expects me to lead you to it? Has his reclusion left him senseless? Has he forgotten his history as well as his people? Very well. As I cannot refuse the Primos, I will meet you in the crypts in the undersewers of the city. Let us deal with this as quickly as possible. We can find it in the crypts beneath the city's sewers. They are old structures, forgotten as the city was built above them. I have had chances to speak of Arcas before, but it is not fitting for me to discuss him. Not now. You are the first to hear his voice in some time. I almost thought he would join his acolytes in their silent pact, but his prolonged absence from his people has taken its toll on his judgment. Does the crypt of Arcas have no sanctity to him? The Jotun were once allies and subordinates of my people. It is unfortunate that they were so easily corrupted. But the safety of my people comes first. Keep it close to you. That artifact is proof to many that you are the avatar of the gods. It holds much power. Farewell.
The gods are good to us.
Keep close. There are worse things than marauders in these lower tunnels. They have lurked these walls for decades, raised along with the city years ago. There. That is the artifact you seek. The Circlet of Arcades. By taking it, Arcades' grave becomes an empty tomb. Let us depart. Onakatos has had his fun with me, and there is nothing left to plunder. It is nothing I can share with you, Beckoned. It is not worth your time. I always thought that were I to come to Arcades' crypt, it would be because of the work of gods alone. And here I am, by the will of none but Onakatos, flesh and blood. I cannot! I will not! Even after all these years, he has not forgotten his brand of viciousness. He knows I must obey his command. I apologize for my outbursts. However, it can be hard to let convictions go. But we must. We must. Take the circlet back to Onakatos. He is most likely waiting for you. Be cautious in these lands. No one comes down here anymore. It is left to ruin, for the Colossi have no more need of these halls, or those interred within them. How many years did our masons toil to assemble this place? And look at it now. How easily we discard the labors of our past.
Beckon.
You bear the circlet of Arcades. Then the wreath is almost complete. The foundation is gold with runes of prayer, as I said. Now, it must be woven with blood and toil. The Colossi furnish the foundation, and nature furnishes the trappings. The laurels of the wreath are not crafted, but earned. We seek Teryx veins. Once they are ours, once the wreath is complete, the ritual of atonement can begin. I take it you have encountered a Teryx before. Likely the mongrel, carrion-eating scavengers that plague us. They are a common foe. We seek the veins of the Alpha Teryx. They are fierce and proud, all that is wild and savage in nature. To prove to the gods the righteousness of our faith, then we must conquer a mighty foe. They will serve. The gods sent you to bear witness to our atonement. To do that, we must complete the Wreath of Absolution. The wreath is made from the large feathers, the veins of the Teryx Alphas. They live in Eris to the south. The end of this awaits.
Blessings of peace.
Anakatos walks among us, and the citizens are awed. This act seems small to you, Beckoned, but it is enough to give my people hope. I thank you on their behalf, if nothing else. I listen. What can I do? It is a wonder to any mortal eyes, though because it is not good enough for the gods' tastes, we must call it a failure. And still we bear this bitter truth every morning, and by every sundown it seems liable to crush us under its weight.
Then, one Myru heard the whispered golden notes of the voice of wisdom herself, Athene. The goddess bid him to raise up his brethren, so they may know the favor of the gods once more.
We are Athene's chosen. We follow her path. Guide us to your blessed wisdom.
And so this Myru gifted them with Apothani heart, and the newly born Colossi found deliverance. And with the gods once more upon the mount, so did they surge towards the teeth of Naros, towards majesty.
Your prophet leads us to glory in your name. Blessed is the way of Kraos.
By the magnificent graces of Athene, a city was built upon gloried heights. So stood Idylla in bountiful tribute, a Colossi bastion, the virtue of the Uranos.
We are here. That is good. I feel hope stirring in my veins once more. It is the prospect of reconciliation that has granted me a second youth. Come. We must kill the alphas of each Eyrie. With their veins in hand, we shall fulfill the gods' wishes. The Terex Eyries lie in the wilds of the teeth of Naros, to the south of the city. We need not look far to find what we seek. But while there are many lesser Terex here, we seek only the plumage of their strongest and brightest. These are the true challenge. Salvation awaits. Feel my wrath! Feel my wrath! Thus we begin. And as we harvest these trophies, you shall learn the journey the Colossi have taken to get here. Once we were but savages, no better than the other giant kin. We were called Myru, and to that identity we were chained until one day, Athene spoke to us. She spoke of a destiny and greatness that was not ours, but could be. She showed us the path of ascension, and we followed it here, to the teeth of Naros. No, we are far from the homeland of our ancestors. Undoubtedly the gods wished us to renounce our savage history. It was necessary. Though the Jotun and Etin once regarded us as kin, they grew jealous of us, of the strength we gained from the gods' favor. Tensions rose to war. It was a sign from Athene to my people to seek a new homeland, where the bounty of her wisdom could be harvested eternally. We must act. Feel Balin's embrace! Feel my wrath! Feel Balin's embrace! We wandered the teeth of Naros in search of the homeland we were promised. And when hope seemed lost, we found the Hyperion. It was a divine artifact. No mortal hand could have crafted it, a massive stone, alone in the wilderness, with the image of a floating city engraved upon its surface. At the city's heart was the Hyperion itself. We knew then Athene was tasking us to craft this wondrous city, to form a covenant. But we betrayed that ideal. To test our worthiness, the gods have strewn throughout Amalur riddles, puzzles, and challenges. Answering them demonstrates our greatness. The Hyperion is one such challenge, perhaps the greatest of them. And though we discovered it years before, we still do not have the answer. We must act. Come. Feel my wrath! Feel my wrath! Feel my wrath! Feel Balin's embrace! end. The city rose, but the Hyperion did not follow. The heart of the city remained unmoved. That we could not abide. My predecessor, Arche, sought to force the Hyperion up, but the Hyperion rejected him, killing him and his followers, and sealed itself away. Our work here is concluded. As a show of thanks, take these. The Terriks are mighty, and their hides light but strong. These will serve you well. I must make the gods see that my people can be redeemed for the faults of Arches. With the wreath in hand, I can conduct a ritual of atonement. As you bear the cipher, the conduit to the gods, you will bear witness. Come, we must conduct this ceremony at the site of our original transgression. Let us go to the Hyperion. If it will not, then why were you brought to me? To ridicule our suffering? To spite our lamentations? To answer them with scourge and salt? I know the gods of my forerunners. They would not flaunt the answer to their riddles without sharing it. Now come. The Hyperion awaits. Salvation awaits. You have come, good. We stand in a ground once hallowed beyond all things, now tainted by the excommunication of my people. Ever since that terrible day when arrogance and desperation brought about the disfavor of the gods, my followers have tended this place. Now come. We shall go to the antechamber of the Hyperion, the very spot where the sins of the Colossi were answered. The antechamber is the flawed design of Arches. It was the means by which he sought to force the Hyperion to join the city. It was to do so using the spark of divine magic Athene placed into each of us, that these fragments combined would create a force equal to that of a god. Such power was never meant to be wielded by the unworthy. The energies struck back at Arches, and the many assembled in his chamber, killing them. We are so close now.
I am glad to see you survived the Terex Eries beckoned. And now I see that Anakatos is intent on fulfilling his whim. I would be careful. The temple is old. My soldiers are still dealing with the Jotun, but with Karunk dead, I can resume my other duties of keeping peace in these lands. Unfortunately, that includes this. Anakatos personally requested my guards, and I escort his followers here. I dislike this place. This cavern is nothing more than a tomb, a monument to Arches and those that died following him to ruin. We learned definitively that all the trials we surmounted, all the strife we weathered in pursuit of Athene's love, had been in vain. But the most important lesson was learned by few. We cannot depend on the heavens to support us. We should make our own way in this world. Arches and Anakatos have already shown me the delusions of faith. I only hope this farce is done with quickly. Now that the trouble with the Jotun has been solved, I am free to investigate other threats to my people, and there are many options to choose from. It is a dead end for my people. Just one more thing to distract them from the Teeth's troubles. Farewell.
Much was ruined in that dark hour. The magics holding the paths together were unbound. Only the cipher can reorder such magics. Press ahead and set the path. Finish this. This mural was to celebrate the great triumph of my people. The city floats, it is nothing without the Hyperion at its heart. If you were curious, I can tell you more. Again, we find the way barred. I'm afraid I need your help once more. We are almost done. We are almost done, Beckett. We have reached it. Beyond that stone is the Hyperion, the gift of the gods, the symbol of a covenant concluded. It rests out of reach, waiting for the day when the gods forgive our trespass, when they find us worthy again. Until now, I feared such a day would not come. We should begin. The gods visited this room once before. It seems only fit that you occupy their position. I will take my place where Arceus once stood. Long before, Arceus dared grasp the power of the gods and was judged according to his impudence. We act now as their analogues. In you, the gods visit this chamber once more. You shall stand where they appeared and made manifest their wrath. And I shall stand where Arceus stood and bore the brunt of their imminent will. The end of this awaits. Please, Beckett, I have taken my place, but you must also take yours. Thank the gods! Praise be to them! After all this time, I bear witness to their confirmation. You have done so well, Beckoned, to bring the cipher to me, and to let me use its strength. With you, I can do what Arcas could not. Command the Hyperion. This chamber harnesses the magic needed to control the Hyperion. But before you appeared with the cipher, no force was sufficient. I knew that when we first met, when I first sensed the cipher, that I could unseal the Hyperion and command its power. Why else would the gods furnish you, whom I needed most in my lowest hour? I already do. You cannot know the agony of this decision. And I know that on this spot years before, the gods judged Idylla and its people unworthy. I will finally appease them. For I will use the energy of the Hyperion to destroy it. Once Idylla falls, I will forge from the ruins a people the gods approve of. I'm sorry. You must be a martyr to our cause, Beckoned. But it must be done.
beckoned. What has happened? Why are Anakatos' acolytes attacking us? What is he doing with the Hyperion? Destroy Idylla? No. That zealous fool! Have the loss of his gods driven him to such despair to use the beckoned and the cipher for such ends? We must make our way from this place. We cannot stop Anakatos from here. Take this shield. One of my soldiers dropped it when the silent choir ambushed us. I hope it protects you better. How if we cannot reach him? And we can do nothing to stop him if his worshippers kill us here. We must make for the surface, and hope that there is time enough for us to deal with him. Be cautious in these lands. I won't hold back. Anakatos has sealed himself in with the Hyperion, and his silent choir will lay down their lives for him. I do not know what to do, Beckoned. I have defended my people from beasts and disasters, but nothing like this. Of course, I will not let Anakatos destroy my people because he believes the gods demand it. I know we have the strength we need inside of us, despite his claims. We are worth saving, even if the gods disagree. But Anakatos has sealed himself in the Hyperion antechamber. Without the cipher and knowledge of the Hyperion, we are lost. Anakatos was clever by exploiting your power. The cipher must be the key to unlocking the Hyperion, and he has broken it in his plan. But that is the one thing my people have been unable to do since we first came here. Only the Primos would know enough about the riddle for us to even try. Anakatos and his silent choir had a monastic retreat in the wilderness, Nixaros. If we need his knowledge, we best start our search there. It is an old portion of the city that was never raised up. It was supposed to be a shrine of quiet contemplation. Now it is the refuge of Anakatos' silent choir. The complex rests where it was first carved, in the Mountains of the Teeth. Farewell.
Yet tragedy befell these giants, as in trying to force the Hyperion upwards, Athene was angered and made her rage known. And so the life was driven from some, the faith from many.
Forgive our trespasses, and bless us with wisdom. Athene the All-Knowing.
We cannot waste time. There does not appear to be much here, but we have to be thorough. The Primos has lost his senses. If he thinks his actions will return the love of the gods, he's gone mad with grief. Nyxaros is one of the many portions of the city carved out, but never raised into the sky. Anakatos and his silent choir use it as a retreat. Curse the gods for leaving the thing here. Anakatos will use it to kill all of us. We should try near the shrine of Athene. Anakatos prizes her above all else. I would wager he keeps his secrets with her. Be cautious in these lands. Just
Ignorance is
I, Anakatos, make this record in penance for my disappointment of the supreme goddess Athene, in hopes that I may return to her favor. I could help my people find her strength once more. I have committed several acts that may have angered her, and now I purge myself of them so I might find her grace again.
What can I do?
Beckoned, not time. Seek, Primos, below.
I am afraid we have dishonored my master, Arches. He is a pious man who has always sought to serve.
Hold a moment. These are bodies of colossi. What are they doing here? Wait. I recognize some faces. Belfron. Armandia. These were great colossi, all viable competitors for the role of Primos at one time or another. I do not like the implications of this. What has Anakatos wrought? Be cautious in these lands.
Trespassers, you are too late! The council already lies dying in the torture chambers, and the Jotun slaves will soon be butchered as the master ordered. Come, brothers and sisters, let us deal with these curs.
Here, I found these during the fight. I do not know what they once bound, but they might be of use to you. Now, we must decipher what that cultist said. But there are also the slaves. They will be killed if we don't save them. But if the Council is dying, we must choose who we see to first. The Council must be important. Something that could help us find a flaw in his plan, perhaps, or learn more about the cipher in the Hyperion. I do not know what the Council is, but I have had enough surprises today. I only hope that we can find it of use. Be cautious in these lands. Come, you must choose. I do not believe so. The Council is dying if Anakatos' dogs are to be believed, and the slaves are to be executed. I am unsure who we should be trying to help, but you are the Beckoned of Athene. I must defer this choice to you. So decide. Do we go to the slave pens and help the slaves? Or do we go to the torture chambers to try to find Anakatos' council before it dies? Be cautious in these lands. What can I do? Ahead are the torture chambers, it seems. Anakatos' council I won't go!
Finally, the day has come. The wait has been long, and nearly unbearable. But at last, you are here. before my strength has fled me. Ever since the day I brought ruin to my people, I thought this burden was my punishment. It seems I have not survived for my sake, but for yours. It is a joy to see you beckoned. I have much to tell you, and I do not have much time left. I am Arcais. Once I was the Primos of the Colossi, but no longer. It is what Anokatos calls me, for though his faith runs deep, his knowledge of the gods' will is malformed. You must have seen the travesties this false prophet has wrought in the name of my people. And now, the Hyperion is his. We must focus on the Hyperion. The gods brought you here because you can answer the riddle of my people's fate. You, and you alone. Yes, you and it both. For without you, the cipher cannot be of use. And without it, your power cannot be harnessed. For the riddle of my people's future is one the gods themselves cannot answer. Fate is obeyed by all. By all. Except for you. More than that. It was Anokatos who insisted we build the antechamber. That we try and force the Hyperion to rise. It, in desperate times, his thought made sense. But when I brought the wrath of the gods down, only he and I survived. He dragged me, broken to his domain, and kept me on the edge of life, so he could learn the wisdom of the Primos. The power to change fate. That is the role of the Beckoned. To serve the gods and unbind my people. But Anokatos schemes. Though he will not receive the favor of Athene, he is not ready for the Hyperion. He will bring destruction. Ah, it is too soon. But I have left the answers long before. Find Sikandra. Ask her about our last day. And tell her I am sorry.
Arcais, I had always... He had died. He had died years ago when the gods rebuked him and our people. It was truth. Anokatos had him alive and tortured. I watched him die years before. All that was left of him was a circlet. A circlet. There was much he should have answered for in his lifetime. But what we saw in Nyxaros, he didn't deserve it. He didn't. I know what this place is now. These travesties, these heresies, these are what Anokatos truly is. Our last day. The day... Could it mean the last day that I saw him? The last day we spoke? before the Hyperion tragedy, he asked me to escort him through the wilds, to the shrines outside the city, the shrines of earth and air. He told me to remember them when times seem bleak. I thought nothing of it, but could he have known about this? About now? I once thought that faith was what would ruin my people, the thing that would distract them from their happiness. But I see now, it is apathy. To not care for our people, that is Anakatos' sin. As I thought it was our cases before him. But this is so much larger. Larger than I ever thought. An Arcase. He always knew that I would be here. He must have always known. It is an ancient place high in the teeth of Naros. I do not understand its significance. But we need answers, not more riddles. Let us unravel this as quickly as we can. The fate of my people is at stake. Something is wrong. Anakatos wishes to destroy Idylla. But how close is he to his goal? I don't know why Arcase spoke of this. Apparently, it's necessary for unsealing the Hyperion. But how? I was expecting answers from Nyxaros, and we're only getting more questions. The task is clear. We need to... Ah! My head! Can you feel it? Something is wrong. This magic... Anakatos has done something. We must return to the city. We might be too late. Something grave has happened. I can feel it in my body. I fear Anakatos may have accomplished his goal. Very well.
In this confession I shall tell of how my master was brought nearly to his death. Arcase failed Athene in our mission to bring her servants to a devout state that would be worthy of her power and wisdom. At my behest, he sought the Hyperion force to the sky to earn our recognition. The ensuing eruption of Athene's wrath killed many, and nearly took dear Arcase.
The city seems intact, but still, the henge has already become disrupted. Anakatos has sealed us from the city. It is only a matter of time before he finds a way to destroy Idylla. We must find what Arcase spoke of, and quickly. Arcase requested specifically that we go to the shrines of earth and air on the last day we spent together. There are two sites in the wilderness, touched by the gods, one in the peaks of the teeth, and the other in its canyon. These were called the Shrines of Earth and Air. I thought nothing of them, but Arcais knew. He must have known this day would come, when we needed them. Yes, I was young, but a talented guard. He asked me to escort him personally. Yes, the Hyperion was larger, more impressive, but these areas bore the same mysterious substance that the Hyperion was crafted from. We have never seen its like before. It must be some divine element. The gods use it then as a marker for us. I cannot say for sure, but there is more than coincidence here. That Arcais showed these places to me, that he mentioned them as he died. But we have little else to act on, and with every moment the chance of Anakatos' calamity occurring grows greater. It rests in the teeth of Naros, but south of the Hyperion and the city. It is nestled between the great crags of rock that make these mountains. Very well.
Beckoned, thou hast come.
These... I doubt that anyone has walked these halls since they were first shaped. I wonder if the words Arcais spoke were true. I do not know for sure. When Arcais came here with me years before, he said this of the Earth Shrine. The earth is dark and heavy, and dangers hide unseen. Accept the light in darkness, for it knows the way. A light in this gloom is welcome, but I would not wander too far off the path. Very well. Something feels strange, Beckoned. When you harnessed the Earth Shrine, my limbs never held more strength. You look more whole, and I can feel the magic pouring through this land already. We must be close. The Hyperion waits. It waits in the higher peaks of the teeth of Naros. But I have a feeling that Anakatos knew that we would find them. I don't know how easy this will become, but we have to keep going. Farewell.
Time is at hand.
The path opens once more. To think that all this time we had the answer to the Hyperion below our feet. That our road to Anakatos forced us to solve this riddle seems more than coincidence. I cannot say for sure it is different from the Earth Shrine, This place is thin and cold. But I remember the words Arke said. To harness the air, you must walk on the wind. Somehow this shrine will make that true. Very well. Let us finish this. Justice is come! The cipher is whole again. As are you. We can unseal the Hyperion that we might stop Anakatos. And we've done so much more. I thought this all was to bring Anakatos to his judgment. But I was wrong. There is much more at stake here. Communing with the Hyperion beneath the city. We have to stop him while we still can. How long have we left Anakatos to his task? And Idylla still rests. What is he doing? Be cautious in these lands. Let us finish this.
Finally come. For the good of my people. It is time we beckoned Mad and fulfilled our roles. You are not so ignorant as that. You are the avatar of Athene herself. I thought you had been sent to purge my people of their limitations, and I was right. But their chief limitation is not sin. It is fate. It is the fate of my people that must be changed, not their piety. That is what stands between us and grace. Our ordained savagery. With the Hyperion and the Cipher, Athene granted me some understanding of her work. The Hyperion augments a certain kind of magic, your own. When you shift fate before it, it amplifies that through the cipher and across all my people. She has taught me much while we talked, beckoned. How I can truly serve my people by dying for them. Yes, because I stand for the parts of my people that must be purged. Their savagery and violence. Once I thought my crimes just and necessary. If the gods could not abide them, surely I would find no success with such means. But I was beckoned to this nature, as you were to yours. Kill me before the Hyperion, and all will be freed of their ignobility. Justice is swift. You will die, beckoned. Feel Balin's embrace. Feel Balin's embrace. Feel Balin's embrace. Feel Balin's embrace. Witness my strength. Feel Balin's embrace. Feel my wrath. Witness my strength. You will die, beckoned. Feel Balin's embrace. Witness my strength. Feel my wrath. Feel my wrath.
You've done it. Anakatos has been killed. But that energy that came from you, it raised the Hyperion. Without its magic to support the structure, this whole temple is coming down. We need to get out of here. Be cautious in these lands.
It is done at last. The fate of Anakatos, the surrogate of all the Colossi savagery, has been shifted. And as his fate was shifted, so was the fate of all the Colossi. Gone is the taint of savagery and barbarism. Thy work for me has finished, Beckoned. Thou alone could do this, and as thou aided me, I am forever grateful. Thou hast freed this people. Thee, Anakatos, Arches, Beckoned, all. And the last, your faithful companion, Secondra. I beckon now. Her people need a leader for the glory that lies ahead. Secondra will be Primos.
Enjoy the fruits of your work. We made it. And you've seen what has happened. The Hyperion soars within our city. We can never thank you fully for your magic. One who wields the elements of Amalur with your ability needs robes to beget their skill. I hope these will serve. You have given us so much. I see the compassion and the influence the gods have had in my people's lives. My life. All along. What Arches said to me on our last day together. What Athene said as we escaped the Hyperion Temple just now. These are no accidents. Your arrival, our meeting, Anakatos' betrayal and finding Arches. These events were crafted intent. I see that now. And as you were beckoned to save my people, now I am beckoned to lead them. But I don't know. I don't know if I can. She did. There is a legacy that I have left to fulfill, or so the goddess says. An old promise, but I mean to keep it. I may for a time, but only until there is one more suitable to lead. I have no taste for the office. But while I can, I should give this to you. No reward could truly thank you for your service, but we must try nonetheless. Now, let us return to the city together, Beckoned. Let us see the fruits of your labor. Farewell.